I'm having several feelings. Several. Halloween. It's Halloween night, 1982. I'm a sophomore in college at Central Michigan University. The most impressive thing about Central Michigan University is that it is located in the center of Michigan. It is literally Central Michigan University. And I can show you by using my hand, which is what Michiganders get to do. I was a young, enthusiastic actor in the theater department. I was a young, enthusiastic drinker and drug taker in the getting wasted department. And I was excelling in both. I've been cast in the main stage production of the old silly farcical play, The Man Who Came to Dinner, directed by the old silly farcical head of the theater department, J. Allen Hamm. The play starred the legendary, pompous, overacting senior Ted Johnson. I was playing the role of cop with 2 lines in the 3rd act. Now, opening night fell on Halloween, and I like to take drugs on Halloween. And the other 364 days of the year that I considered holidays. Now, I had purchased some hallucinogenic mushrooms with the purpose of taking them. I traded for the mushrooms with a bag of speed because I was a speed dealer. I never had any cash because I kept eating my speed. So, it's Halloween night, it's opening night. The Man Who Came to Dinner, starring Ted Johnson, being straight, head of the theater department, fraternity, real white Christian, good, all-American Ted Johnson. And he never liked the drug takers and the drinkers, and that was me. He didn't like me. Little side story here. I dropped out of college in 1984, January 1984. July of 1984, after 6 months of living in New York City, I drank every day. I did drugs every day. I had sex in one form or another every day. I ran into Ted Johnson and his girlfriend in the 42nd Street subway station. Now, I had just come, it was quite a surprise. I had just come from one of the many pornographic magazine stores on 42nd Street, and I had a stack of pornographic magazines that I was trying to hide inside a Daily News. The Daily News was thin, and my stack of porn was rather thick, and they were sliding out. You could see the covers, the graphic covers, lesbian nurses and bisexual in the valley, and girl on girl on girl on girl. Ted and his girlfriend saw me first. Hey, Victor, how's it going? Between the it and the going, you could see the flash of sin and crucifixion and judgment and harsh, and all of those things were right across both of their white faces as they looked at me and then at my porn and then back at me and then back at the porn and then back at me one more time just to make sure it was porn and then back to me. So there was this silence, this deathly awkward silence. And, there was really nothing to say. But I did say something. I said, "Ha! Ted, so good to see you. Love to talk, but I have to run. I have an audition." I wasn't acting at all. But I ran juggling my porn down the stairs of the 1 train. I never saw him again. But back to the Man Who Came to Dinner. Now, I was in the green room on Halloween night. I had these mushrooms, and I was going to eat them. I only had 2 lines in the place. I mean, what could happen, right? And I was going to eat the mushrooms before it started, probably be tripping by the end of the 1st act, and a nice little buzz going. So the mushrooms, if you haven't had hallucinogenic mushrooms, they taste a little bit like wet lint or shoe dirt mixed with nausea. So I had to cut them with something. So I had them in a peanut butter sandwich. I put the mushrooms in a peanut butter sandwich. So the rest of the cast, they just thought I was having a snack. But I knew I was having an adventure. So I ate the sandwich. I waited. Nothing happened. End of the 1st day. Fucking totally straight. So I eat some more, right out of the bag. I just take some fucking mushrooms right out of the bag. Eat them, hold down the vomit. It's fine. Everything's fine. 2nd act ends. Nothing. Now, I am really pissed. I thought I got a bad batch of mushrooms, you know what I mean? And there's nothing worse than waiting for a trip that doesn't happen. So, beginning of the third act, so I get up to go to take my place behind the stage, and suddenly the floor starts moving. I was hearing lines, but I didn't recognize them. My legs were moving, but my feet weren't. So I make it to this place where, you know, the stage manager guided me to the door that I was supposed to knock on, and I was feeling the door. It was woody. It was a very woody door. And I was listening to these lines the actors were saying, but I didn't recognize them, and I think subconsciously I knew my cue line, because I didn't know where the fuck I was. And then, so my hand moved up. And I didn't know what it was doing. It said the knock. And it was really funny because the force of the knock didn't match up with the sound. And so it was really funny. And so I was trying to hold in laughter. And so at some point the door opened and I stumble in. And people are laughing. I don't think it was a comedic role that I was doing. But people were laughing. And so I'm on stage and I am fully fucking tripping. This is when I realized I'm in the middle of a fucking massive mushroom trip, and I took too many. Because I did a lot of drugs, and I knew one too many. So I looked at these actors, and their faces were, and then I looked at the audience, and they were smiling expectantly. And I looked at Ted Johnson. He was the guy in the wheelchair, and he was really angry. And I don't know if it was the character, or if it was Ted Johnson, but he was really convincing. So I was frozen in this fucking place, and I didn't know what was happening, and I don't honestly remember what happened. I just know that someone ushered me out. The door was closed. I couldn't stay there long. The stage manager came and took me off and said, "You gotta get the fuck out of here, man. J. Allen Hammond is not happy." So I changed out of my costume really quick. I didn't even stay for the curtain call. I just fucking split. And I knew, being a good, experienced drug taker, the only thing you could do was drink beer. Only remedy for that condition. So I ran home, and this is Halloween night at a fucking Midwestern college campus. So I'm passing drunken ghosts and drunken clowns and drunken, just drunks. Everybody was drunk. And I'm racing home because I can't face people. I can't face people in this condition. I run into my house, I start drinking beer. Just slamming beer, and it's good. And it's going down real nice. And so everything's fine. So, you know, everything's really better on drugs. It's personally. I mean, I'm clean and sober. I haven't done drugs in a long time, but I remember. So the drinking the beer was good, and like watching TV is good, and sex is really, really good. And drugs, and it's also just like washing the dishes, or you know, sitting in a chair. Everything's just better. So I was drinking the beer, and then I discovered this Shakespeare book, this book of Shakespeare that I had taken a class in and done very poorly because I didn't understand fucking Shakespeare. You know, I didn't get it. You know, all the other actors got it, and I really resented these other actors who were so, you know, fucking Shakespearean, and they were like showing off their Shakespeare and shit. So I decided to look at the Shakespeare, and it made sense. I was fucking tripping my brains out, and it made sense. So I was looking at the Shakespeare, and it was Oberon, King of the Fairies, and I was going around the apartment. Well, go thy way. Thou shalt not torment me from this misery. I just got, and I was fully into this complete epiphany of Shakespeare, and I was performing, and I was alone, and it was wonderful. And then suddenly my roommate, Dan Jones, came in the door with a blind girl. I had never met a blind girl before. Dan Jones was a god to me. He was like 6'2", 200 pounds. He was macho. He was machismo. He slept with like 100 girls in the 2 years that I roomed with him. He was a hero. I mean, anyway, I never saw him with a blind girl before. So I said hello to Dan, and I said hello to the blind girl, and then they went to the bedroom and started having the sex. And then I used the sounds as a soundtrack to catapult me back into the king of the fairies. Fetch me that herb! Go thou! Yeah, I was fucking. So that was the night I discovered Shakespeare. And I found out the next morning that the girl was not blind.